today I'm going to do a little explanation of the mortgage project. So in the mortgage project, we are going to talk about what you're going to be paying for a house. A house loan is generally called a mortgage. So this is talking about you're examining a home loan or mortgage. Assume that you have found a home for sale and you have agreed to purchase for a purchase price of $201,000. So that's pretty good for a house. The down payment is the amount of money that you give the bank right off the bat for the loan. So that amount of money is not going to have any interest built off of it. You're not going to pay any extra money based on the down payment. So some people have a hard time with the down payment because it's a whole lump sum of money that you pay at once. But the reality is the more you can pay in your down payment, the less you're going to pay for the house in the long run, because the amount that you pay in the down payment has no interest on it. So that's a good thing. The interest is the amount of money that you pay the bank for the mortgage. It's the extra money you pay for the mortgage. All right, so it says you're going to make a 10% down payment on the house. Determine the amount of the down payment and the balance to finance. So what we're going to do to find the down payment is we're simply going to find 10% of $201,000. And in order to do that, I'm going to take $201,000 times the decimal form of the percent. So the decimal form of 10% is simply going to be 0.1. So I take $201,000. It's so dark, I'm so sorry. Times 0.1, and that's going to give me $20,100. So my down payment is going to be $20,100. See, that's a lot of money, and so a lot of people have a hard time with down payments because they have to pay it up front, which means they have to save that amount of money to pay it right up front. So that's hard, and I get that. Saving money is hard. Okay, so that means the mortgage amount is going to be the $201,000 minus the $20,100 down payment. So I'm going to take $201,000 minus that $20,100 down payment, and that's going to give me $180,900. So the mortgage amount is $180,900. So this is the amount of money that's going to have interest come out of it. That means that $20,000 is not going to have any interest come out of it, so that's a good thing. Now what we're going to do is we are going to figure out our monthly payment for this loan. In order to do that, we have to figure out how long our loan is going to be. So right here it says calculate the monthly payment for a 30-year loan. That's pretty standard for a house, just because it's a lot of money to pay off. So you pick a long loan period. By using the following formula. So this is the formula that we are going to use here for this next part. I'm going to just undo that. I just wanted to show your work. PMT is the monthly loan payment. P is the mortgage amount. R is the annual percent rate for the loan in decimal form. Always use the decimal form of the percent. Y is the number of years. And then for the 30-year loan, use an annual interest rate. So my interest rate is going to be 4.975%. Now that's a pretty high interest rate, but the interest rate that you get is all dependent on the market and your credit. So hopefully if you have good credit, and hopefully if the market is pretty good, like a lot of people are buying houses, or there's a lot of houses on the market, so there's a lower interest rate to entice people to buy, then you're going to have a lower interest rate. So what we're going to do is we're going to find all these values and plug it into our formula. So my P is going to be the mortgage amount, which is simply the $180,900 that we calculated up here. The R is the annual percent rate for the loan. So 4.975, we always want it in decimal form. So I'm going to move that decimal twice to the left. 0.04975 is going to be my R. Y is the number of years, so Y equals 30 years because it's a 30-year loan. And it looks like that's all we are going to plug in. So we plug all this crap into this formula, and that will give us our monthly rate, how much we're going to pay every month to pay off the house in 30 years. So let's plug all of this in. I know my PMT, my payment for the monthly, is going to be my p-value, 180,900 divided by, p-value times R over 12. I'm getting ahead of myself. R over 12. So times 0.04975 over 12. Now the reason it's 12 is because there's 12 months in a year. So that's where we're getting all those 12s. See, I have 3 12s happening because we're calculating our monthly payment. If this is going too fast for you, pause the video, take the notes you need, put it on your paper, whatever, okay? Go ahead and rewind if you need. So now the bottom part. So I have a 1 minus parenthesis 1 plus R over 12. Again, 0.04975 over 12 to the exponent. So that's an exponent of negative 12 times my Y value, which is 30 years. Now, in order to solve this using order of operations, you want to make sure that you are going to multiply what's in this parenthesis first and then multiply it by the 180,900. Then down here, you're going to make sure you do what's in this parenthesis first. Then you do the exponent of that, whatever you get. And then you do 1 minus the result. So this is all order of operations. You want to make sure you do that correctly. Once you do that, you're going to fill that amount in right here. And you are going to go down to this website. Now this website is going to give you an amortization schedule. What that means is that you're going to see how the bank receives the money for the loan over the 30 years. So I already opened up that link for us to look at in the amortization schedule. Okay, and the principal amount here is the amount that the loan is for. And if I look back at that first page of the worksheet, it was for $180,900. There's 12 payments per year. The annual interest rate, I'm gonna put it 4.975. So I'm gonna leave it in the interest percentage form because I noticed that in the example they gave it was 6.0, which is in the normal percent form, okay? The number of regular payments, what this means is you need to figure out how many months. That's how many months. So if it's a 30-year loan and you're paying every month for 30 years, you're gonna do 30 times 12 to get the number of months because there's 12 months in a year, which you're gonna get 360. So 360 is already there. That just tells you that 30 years is pretty standard for a mortgage. The balloon payment, don't worry about it. Payment amount, don't worry about it. And I wanna see the amortization schedule. So I'm gonna click that box right there and I'm gonna click calculate. So when I go down, let me see if I can make this any bigger. Oh yeah. When I scroll down, I see all of this information. Here's the principal amount. Here's the regular payment amount. That means every month for this loan, you're gonna pay $968.35. So hopefully on that first page, that is what you got right here, because that is going to be your monthly payment, $968.35. The total repaid is going to be $348,606. What that means is by the time you pay off the house, you will have paid a total of $348,606. Yes, you heard that right. It seems crazy, but that is almost double the amount of the loan, and that's normal for houses. Normal. Every time I go house hunting, I look and I'm like, okay, that house is worth this, that house is being sold for this much. I know if I take out a loan, I'm gonna probably be paying twice as much as that in the long run. It's crazy because that's how much you have to pay the bank to ask them to let you borrow this amount of money, right? So if you look at the difference, that means on top of the $180,900, you have paid $167,706 in interest. That means you paid the bank $167,706 just to borrow that $180,000. It's crazy. I mean, it makes sense though. Like if I let one of you borrow $100 and you weren't going to pay me back for 30 years, I would hope that you would give me 200 in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it makes sense. The banks are businesses. They have to make their money. And a lot of the banks make money from interest and from fees, overdraft fees, you know, crap like that. All right. Total payment, all that other crap, whatever. So when you look down, this is not an iPad, this is a computer. When you look down, it tells you payment 1. So the first month of the first year, you're going to pay your total amount, which is, you know, $968.35. Out of that $968, the first payment, only $218 is going towards the loan, $750 is going to the bank. The reason the banks do that is they front load the interest. They want to make sure they're getting paid for the loan. So they're going to front load the interest. So for the first while, month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's the end of the first year. Year 2, month 1, 2, 3, whatever, you can see that the interest, the amount of the payment that you give them that's going towards interest is way higher. And they do that because the banks want to get paid. They want their money. So that means if you, for example, end up buying the house, like say you get to the end of the second year and you all of a sudden have $175,000, you can give that to the bank and be done with the loan. But the bank still got a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? They're going to front load it. Also, if you sell the house before your loan is up, you've sold the loan. And so now the person who buys it from you is going to start over on their loan. And so their loan's going to have front loaded interest. It's all about money. The banks want money. Let's be honest. Okay. So this shows you that as you go on in time, the amount of money that you pay in the month that goes towards the loan amount is getting higher, and the amount of money going towards the interest is getting lower. That's because, like I said, they front load the interest. So on the second page, it asks the question, total interest paid over 30 years, total interest, that's going to be this value right here, and the total amount paid is that value right there. Notice how the payment goes, how much of it goes towards the principal and how much goes towards the interest. They're not consistent. So it's not until the 194th payment or the 194th month that the amount that goes towards the loan and the amount that goes towards the bank, the amount you pay, is about the same. So if I look at that, 194 months divided by 12, that's not until about the 16th year that your payment is going to be half loan, half to the bank. Okay. Then as you get towards the end of your loan, you notice that most of the amount is going towards the loan and the interest is getting smaller. At that point, the bank has gotten most of their money. They don't really, think that you're going to overdraft, so their interest is lower. Banks also do this for security. If people have hard times paying their mortgages, then they're gonna, at least the bank got paid a lot of the interest at the very beginning. So this is all for, security reasons, right? If I were to let you borrow $100 and I said, you can pay me back in 30 years, but you gotta give me $200, but I want a monthly payment every month, I'm for sure gonna ask you to pay more of that extra $100 at the beginning because I wanna make sure you're trustworthy. So that's another reason why this is kind of weighted that way, because banks need to know that you're good for your money. I mean, they gave you a freaking $180,900. They got to make sure that they're getting their money back and getting paid for the nice thing that they did by loaning you the money. So that's why it's like that. For the rest of this assignment, I really only want you to do the first 2 pages, but really I just wanted you to get an idea of how mortgages work. This amortization schedule online is really helpful to get a visual of that. If you have any more questions or you're interested about mortgages, go ahead and message me or let me know what you want to know. But basically just go until about the middle of the second page and that will be full credit for your assignment. So great job, you guys. Hopefully you're doing well and staying safe.